I bought some presidential election theme stocks. That's exactly when I mentioned it. At that time, it was trading in the 4,001 range. Today, it has climbed into the high 10,001 territory. Wait until the price reaches a favorable level. This support line is clearly visible. Altcoins won't regain their appeal until they achieve a breakthrough in technology, a true technological singularity. Today, instead of talking about coins, let's start with stocks. I believe I mentioned this back in January. I bought some presidential election theme stocks. The reason is that there is a possibility that President Yoon Suk-yeol might be impeached, triggering an early election. So, regardless of whether the impeachment occurs, the mere possibility drives the prices higher. Ignore political leanings, just focus on leaders from both parties. If you pick the right leader stock, it will appreciate. It's evident that the leading stock on the left side is none other than Orient Precision Industries Inc. That's exactly when I mentioned it. At that time, it was trading in the 4,001 range. Today, it has climbed into the high 10,001 territory, and the leading stock on the right is Pyeonghwa Holdings. This is the stock I purchased. I bought it at that time as well. It then rose to around 8,001. In just 2 months, it more than doubled in value. I mention this because I sold my shares. Holding on now would be unwise. You're a fool to buy it now. Don't buy it. It's over. Yesterday, the expected date for the impeachment ruling was announced. It's set for April 4th. So, what is our goal? Is our objective to predict the outcome of the impeachment? No, that's not it. Then, what is our goal? Making money. If you hold on, thinking the stock will rise further if he becomes president, that's a mistake. Sell on the day the impeachment ruling is announced. So if you held Lee Jae-myung related stocks, selling at today's opening would have been optimal. Even if it isn't the absolute peak, exiting around the opening price is more than satisfactory. You don't need to predict the outcome of the impeachment. It's unnecessary. Stocks rally on built-in expectations. If the impeachment doesn't happen, both stocks will decline. And if impeachment does occur, then what? One of those outcomes is that one candidate becomes president. But if you expect that, will the price go higher? No. It will collapse completely. In any case, the price will fall again. It might have a brief rally for a day or two, but then it will soon drop. So, the bottom line is that selling now is the best option. Actually, I'm not really sure about Bitcoin right now. Last time I analyzed it, I saw an ending pattern, but the pattern remains unresolved. However, if it breaks through this resistance line one more time, I'll abandon the ending perspective and treat the move as the start of a short ABC wave, an upward leg followed by a drop in the C wave. If it breaks through one more time and goes up, I'll view it from a short perspective. The best resistance level for a short position would likely be around this line, making it an ideal point to consider entering a short trade. Applying Fibonacci, it's approximate. It appears to be around the 61.8% retracement level, which is critical because this is where resistance has been significant in the past and even generated false breakouts. It's also the level where the price previously dropped, so resistance is highly likely here. If the price breaks the trend significantly, I plan to reassess and consider a short entry, but this process will take time. It won't happen immediately, and if the price completes the ending pattern, there's no guarantee of a rebound. Generally, the market exhibits an impulse wave, but sometimes you see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern, or even a 6, 7, 8, 9 sequence. So, it's ambiguous. The ending formation isn't very neat. If the price were to drop, it should have followed the pattern I described in the last broadcast, dropping, bouncing, then dropping again at a clear exit point for an ideal ending. That is the ideal level, but it appears the price isn't reaching it easily. And currently, the short-term trend looks roughly. It seems like the trend is going this way, but it might break against the trend. If the price rises and then corrects repeatedly, it may eventually reach the upper boundary of the channel, and it will be just before the previous high. It might form a double top pattern, or even if it doesn't drop sharply, it could trade sideways for a while before moving higher. In that case, you would set a tight stop loss. Thus, it may be worth considering a short entry. Now, how should we approach spot trading? For spot trading, you must wait patiently. Wait until the price reaches a favorable level. This support line is clearly visible. Anyone can see this level. You should wait until the price stabilizes around it, but that's exactly why trading is challenging. It often appears too obvious. At this level, the price should find support and bounce higher. This is typically how Bitcoin behaves. Either the price fails to hold this level, or it plunges sharply. For example, the most recent instance was when the price hit a high, then fell, found support at this level, and rebounded. It then fell again, found support once more, and climbed higher. So, what do we expect next? A rebound should occur from this level. There was a rebound before, but it wasn't sustainable. The price continued to fall. Thus, if the price drops again, it will likely find support after a brief rebound. Naturally, buying near the bottom is ideal, even if the price eventually rises. Keep this in mind. Previously, the price dropped to this level, then rebounded and moved higher, something like this. For spot traders, it might be wise to wait until the price falls to around 60,000. Then, it might rebound from there, although it might not reach my target price. So, what should you do? Don't become overly fixated. Don't get too attached to any single asset. If one asset doesn't work out, switch to stocks. If stocks don't work, try commodities. If that fails, consider futures or options, or wait for the next cycle, or even invest in real estate. Approach it with a calm, relaxed mindset. Don't become so obsessed that you end up buying at the peak and shouldering all the losses. In the end, if you buy at the top, the loss will be entirely yours. I believe Bitcoin's dominance is simply following its cyclical upward trend. In this cycle, it's Monday. I mentioned my stocks earlier. The market is driven by expectations. In December 2017, Bitcoin first hit the $20,000 milestone, showing its significant impact on the financial world. At that time, even though Bitcoin fell afterward, altcoins were just beginning to make their presence known amid huge excitement. Altcoins were touted as revolutionary, with white papers full of grand promises, yet they surged wildly, even when we knew little about them. However, altcoins have disappointed twice, first during the initial surge, and then in the subsequent bull run, so expectations for them have now faded significantly. I don't think any altcoin has truly proven its value, not even Ethereum or Solana. Altcoins won't regain their appeal until they achieve a breakthrough in technology, a true technological singularity. That pivotal moment is what matters. What technology are we most focused on now? AI, it didn't emerge overnight. It hasn't reached a true technological singularity yet. We use it in our daily lives, but until recently, it hadn't reached the stage where it made a significant impact. Then ChatGPT was released, seemingly marking a breakthrough past that singularity. However, I don't believe blockchain has yet reached its first singularity, especially not altcoins. When you determine that the first technological breakthrough has occurred, it won't be too late to act. So when it comes to altcoins, it's best to approach them very conservatively.